Take away the pain, now bring the sweetness. 'Cause I don't want nobody but you, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the world of Sense'N. We're back again at the end of summer and the start of a new season, falling into September. I thought I'd jump on here and say hi to you guys. My name is Leonie Sherif, founder and creator of Sense'N By Sherif. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I thought I'd jump on here with a brand new video, just introducing the vibes of the new season really, and also giving you a little insight as to what Sense'N has coming over the next few months. In today's video, I really wanted to just mention a few lovely fragrances to help us transition into the autumn. Coming out of the summer and easing into the new season, that transitional period where summer's kind of delving into autumn. We of course reflect that with what we wear. Of course, fashion changes. I actually love autumn style. It's my favorite season for fashion, and equally we tend to change what kind of scents we enjoy, what kind of works with our skin chemistry as we ease into the colder seasons tends to change. I know for myself, I definitely gravitate towards warmer scents. I go to my vanillas, my ambers, my woody scents, and my gourmands. Summertime, I love more sort of florals. During the summer, I tend to wear more fruity floral vanilla scents with a touch of citrus. And I like to save my gourmand, rich vanilla, ambery, woody scents and any sort of musky scents for the winter time, or for the autumn into winter time. So, before I dive into some of the fragrances that I feel beautifully support that transitional flip of the seasons from summer into autumn, I just thought I'd give a little update on what we're working on in Sense'N. So of course, the summer was all about Venus. Our first fragrance went live end of May. It was so exciting and thrilling to have finally released the first fragrance from the brand. And if you haven't tried her yet, I encourage you to go try Venus out. Venus is really a scent that's perfect all season long. I wore it so much last autumn and winter, obviously while I was preparing to launch it for the summer, for the spring summer, but it honestly, it holds that weight to be able to complement throughout all the seasons, from summer, spring, autumn into winter. It's got like that musky, vanilla-y, ambery nuance in its base and that powderiness, but it's also got like a floral, bright kind of zing and smooth gourmand, vanilla-y, almondy, marzipan, cherry facets that just make it fit for all the seasons. You know, it's light and fresh enough that it's beautiful to wear throughout the summer, but it's also got enough body and depth that it also complements so nicely throughout the colder months. And I feel that it blends so beautifully with the skin chemistry throughout the warmer months, but then equally as we go into the colder months, it's also so comforting and retains its essence when worn throughout colder seasons too. But over the past few months, I've been in the works non-stop developing future fragrances for Sense'N. I've been finalizing the details for the next fragrance that Sense'N has planned. And yeah, I can't wait to bring the next fragrance forth and unveil what's coming for the autumn winter season. It's definitely something I've worked on to give a flavor of the season, scent of the season type of vibe, and it's definitely giving autumn winter. So more will be revealed down the line. Hoping to have this fragrance out before the end of 2024, fingers crossed. But yes, more will be revealed soon over the next couple of months. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay notified with new videos, new content, and new updates coming from Sense'N. Hit the bell for notifications. I'd love to have you as part of the Sense'N squad also. So if you haven't yet, do go to my website, www.sense'nbysherif.com. Sign up to our mailing list. There's so many exclusive perks to being signed up to the mail list, exclusive discounts that are not available to the general public. I also have a blog which cover various topics around sensing. So yeah, the discounts, extra content, being first to know what's coming. Do sign up to the mail list. You don't want to miss out, and I'd love to have you as a part of the Sense'N squad. So without further ado, the fragrances I'm going to mention in this video are just fragrances that I feel are beautiful transitional fragrances. I love wearing them at this point in time where I'm sort of easing out of the summer vibes and going into the winter vibes. So to kind of propel us into that next stage, some of these fragrances have inspired my creative process a little bit. These fragrances all fit into an ambery, woody, gourmand vibe. So either of them or all of them, or a combination of those fragrance families. Those kind of scents for me are what I love throughout winter, autumn into winter. Amber is actually one of my favorite fragrance families, but I really love wearing amber throughout the winter. Obviously I love vanillas, and vanilla is part of the amber family because amber is basically an accord that's made up of vanilla and labdanum with other components as well. Benzoin, Peru balsam, tonka, but all these kind of ingredients kind of pertain to an amber accord. So vanilla is like an element of amber, but it's more singular in that it's kind of a constituent of amber, if you like. So yeah, definitely amber encompassing that labdanum and the more deep resinous notes to build that accord is one of my favorite kind of perfumes. So without further ado, let's kick off into the first fragrance. So I've got a sample of this one. I smelt it ages ago, I think when I was going away in the airport, but I've got a 10 ml sample of this one, and I'm definitely going to be getting a bigger bottle. But this first fragrance is Christian Dior Ambre Eve. This fragrance, let's get it on a fragrance stick. So first I'm going to spray on the scent strip. Ooh. That's so nice. Beautiful. Ambery, musky, and there's a floral. It's like a rose. A rose is coming through. Let's get some of this on my skin. I got to be careful because I've been testing Sense'N's new fragrance on this hand, so I don't want to mix. Let's go on this area of my hand. Oh, beautiful. It's got like, this fragrance has this interesting, like, it's like got a density to it, but a lightness at the same time. It's got a floral air of, I think it's like a rose. I'm definitely getting like a zest. There are notes of grapefruit and bergamot in this, and I do get this kind of citrus air with the rose. But most definitely there's a fluffy musk. A fluffy vanilla-y musk with an amber kind of, with an ambery woody base. The notes in this fragrance are bergamot, grapefruit at the top. Middle notes are damask rose and pink pepper, and ambergris, guaiac wood, cedar and patchouli. Yes. So definitely getting that kind of floral air, that zest, and there is a woody ambery undertone which is getting richer and richer as the fragrance develops. It's beautifully done. It's very smooth and elegant. Again, it's airy, but it's got a density to it, so it's by no means flippy floppy. Like it's there and it sits on the skin and it's very elegant. This is like probably the most summery summery into autumn type fragrance, because to me, I would wear this in the summer also. I would wear this in the summer. I think it's the bergamot that's giving it this kind of Calabrian feel, almost like, I don't know, it's like an Italian vibe, Amalfi Coast vibes. But yeah, this is still beautiful for the summer, but it's a lovely transitional, just as, you know, as it's going into autumn and the sun's still shining, like on afternoons like this, but you know, the weather's getting colder. I think this fragrance is beautiful. Stunning. Personally, I feel like pink pepper tends to give, pink pepper and black pepper notes in fragrance do tend to allow the fragrance to lean more unisex. This is a unisex fragrance for men and women, and it does lean slightly more feminine for me, but it's definitely got that masculine unisex feel to it too. I think it's the density. The density reminds me of kind of like what you get in men's colognes a little bit, that kind of yeah, for me, I think it's the combination of the ambergris, the pink pepper, the guaiac wood, and the cedar that gives it that kind of unisex masculine feel. But then the rose and the fluffy kind of musk, it's like it gives it that warm, skin-like, neutral, slightly more feminine undertone. So yeah, beautiful fragrance, stunning. The nose behind this fragrance is Francois Demarchi, who is an amazing perfumer who's created so many other amazing fragrances in the Dior line and just across the perfume scape. So yeah, absolutely incredible fragrance. Next up, we're going to go with one of my favorite fragrances ever in life. This fragrance is by Hermes and it is called L'Ambre de Merveilles. L'Ambre de Merveilles. Oh, how I love this fragrance. I've had every version of it. I've had the Elixir and I've had the, is it Eau de Merveille? The L'Ambre one is the perfect amber scent. Let's go first on a scent strip. The L'Ambre one for me is the perfect amber scent. I think this L'Ambre de Merveille stands for, I think it stands for Amber of Wonders. I'll have to check that. But it's just a stunning, refined, elegant fragrance. Let's get it on the scent strip first. Ooh. Oh, so good. Again, this is nostalgic for me. This reminds me of a time maybe 10 years ago. Oh, and I used to work in the city doing my finance job. Yeah, I used to wear this. I used to wear this quite a lot, so it takes me back a little bit. But when I got a first whiff of it, I was like, what is that? So luxuriously sophisticated. Like, just so luxurious and so sophisticated, so elegant. Gotta get it on the skin, so we're gonna use the back of my hand. Oh, so nice. Stunning. Stunning. The notes of this fragrance are amber, labdanum, vanilla, and patchouli. Quite linear in a sense. They kind of all feel like kind of bottom end notes, base notes to me. But you know, and it is quite linear. It doesn't change tons. It does kind of. I think the vanilla kind of comes out more and more. The sweetness in the vanilla kind of prolongs throughout the wear of this fragrance. The labdanum is obviously there. Labdanum is obviously one of my favorite notes, and it's essential for an amber accord. Oh, but it's just so beautiful. It's like the patchouli is done so well. The patchouli is so beautifully enveloped into the labdanum and amber accord. The vanilla is also like an element of the amber accord for me, but it's also like an added olfactory impression. So that extra vanilla-y feel, and you do definitely get that in the scent. So it's gorgeous. It's like classic amber. So refined, so sophisticated. Like, my goodness, you wear this and it's like, it's quite a serious scent. It's like, but it's also, I don't find it to be, it could be polarizing. For me, I don't think it is. I think it's like, it just smells so good. I feel like, how could you not enjoy this? But scent is a very personal thing. So obviously people react differently to things. But for me, this is just, it's just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. This is definitely given autumn for me. I wouldn't wear this in the summer particularly. I may, if I'm going to like a dinner, a summer night's dinner, and I want something to feel really like sexy and sophisticated, I might. But this is definitely like autumn into winter nights. Like, yes, I did wear it for work on occasion, but I wouldn't say this is like a go-to-work scent. For me, this is a sexy evening scent. It's romantic and elegant and refined and super demure. Love it. Also, it's a unisex scent, but I think it's been marketed more as a female scent, but it's definitely unisex. Like this on a man would be amazing too. It's robust, but it's not, I don't find it to be in your face. Some people might think it is a little bit like, whoa, but for me, it's like, it's there, but it's like, for my skin chemistry, this works fantastically, and it's one of my favorite fragrances ever. The nose behind this fragrance is Jean-Claude Ellena, who has also created so many other fragrances for Hermes, and is an amazing master perfumer. So yes, this is for sure one of my favorites. Love this scent. Next fragrance we are going to look at is Grand Soir by MFK. Grand Soir by Maison Francis Kirk de Jean. I always abbreviate MFK. So I have the 10 ml tester. I was actually gifted the dupe of this, which is Ambre Eve by Barakkat Fragrance World. But it's interesting because there are similarities between the dupe and the original. I'll speak a little bit about both, but we're going to focus on the original version today because yes, the OG is the OG. This beautiful scent. This scent is out of this world. Let's get it on the scent strip. Absolutely lush, fluffy, gooey, gourmand amber delight. But it's so sophisticated. Yeah, this is not for the faint-hearted. Like, this to me is like big boy amber. Right, skin time, but we need to make room. So I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna use this hand and I'm gonna go along my wrist because we've got to get it on the skin. Oh, the notes of this fragrance are Spanish labdanum orange in the top, middle notes lavender, siam, benzoin, and base notes of amber, vanilla, tonka, cedar, and musk. Now, I definitely get this nuance of lavender. So it gives a ever so slight fougere leaning undertone, but not really. It just gives a little flicker of it with the lavender and the tonka. But this is through and through a luxurious amber scent. The sweetness of the orange, the resinous quality of the Spanish labdanum and the siam benzoin gives it this lovely, like, gooey, resinous, refined amber with an accent of citrus orange, which makes it feel quite warm for me. Gives it that solar feel. The musk and the lavender gives like a kind of powdering, sweet, fluffy, powdering element to the fragrance. But it's just sweet and delicious. It's given edible, even though there are no like real foodie notes in here apart from the orange. But yeah, the vanilla, the tonka, the amber elements being the benzoin and the labdanum, so beautifully put together. The musk is so clean as well. It's like, I feel like it's a clean, it's given like a clean laundry kind of musk. I don't know if I pick up a little bit of a Havana line, like it's just given a clean, gorgeous musk. and the cedar woodiness. Again, this has got a woody facet to it as well, but it's so beautifully put together with the amber that it doesn't overpower in a woody sense, but it is still woody, you know. All these scents I've reviewed today have this woody undertone, which I love. I love woody scents in the winter, and I think the woodiness gives it a more masculine vibe. But again, this is a unisex fragrance. This to me is very unisex. Yeah, I think this is very unisex. It's very wearable in my opinion. If you like ambers, I think you'll love this. It's so wearable, it's delicious, it's refined, and again, it's given high end. I mean, it's by the house of MFK. Francis Kirk de Jean is a genius, and he's done a masterpiece with this. This is probably one of my favourite fragrances from him, along with, obviously, I love Baccarat Rouge, and I love some of the others in the line, but this one for me is just like amber heaven. This is what I would wear during autumn season. It would make me feel comforted, warm, cocooning, just like uplifting during the colder months. It adds a warmth and uplifting feel to your day. I'll quickly do a little comparison of the Ambre Eve, which is the dupe. But what I will say is there is a close connection between these two, obviously, but this one is a little bit more, it got less depth to it. It is nice. It's definitely still really nice. There's less density to this version. Let's give, it's gonna start getting complicated now. I've got no more skin space left. Yeah, the dupe version has got more of it's got a diffusive quality to it, and it's less dense. When I say diffusive, that's not to say that like it projects better. Both fragrances do sit close to the skin. I find that ambers tend to sit close to the skin because they're mainly made up of base note elements, and these elements have fantastic fixation, which means they stick to your skin. They're very great for like intimacy, and you can intimately smell it on you. Or if you give someone a hug or you closely embrace with somebody, they can smell it off you. They're not intended to like beast mode, like chuck out at your nose. You know, there's so much to be said about perfumery and this talk of projection and how long it lasts and what different people are looking for in fragrances. For me, I've always said that you can't expect fragrances to do things that you'd like them to always do, because the way that they're composed and put together very much so depends on the way that they will perform on each individual person's skin. So sometimes, you know, a scent is long lasting and it lasts for 6 to 8 hours, but it doesn't necessarily project. And, you know, some people want a fragrance that projects and everyone can smell it and it's got silage, and if it doesn't have that, then they think it's a poor fragrance and all these different things. But then some people don't want a fragrance that's kind of like they step into the room and everyone can smell them. Some people, you know, fragrance is more for them to wear and for the person they embrace to smell. So, and some people also don't want long projection and want to be able to still smell a fragrance they put on in the morning. Okay, my camera just decided to die on me in the middle of my discussion. But all that to say, a person doesn't always want to walk into a room and be announced by the fragrance they're wearing. Some people do love that. But what I love about this amber and ambers in general is I love that they do what they're intended to do. I rather a fragrance that does what it's intended to do. That's the beauty of the creation of it, rather than wanting to like force it into doing something that I might need it to do. I'm probably quite biased as a creator and perfumer, but yes, what I do love about this fragrance Grand Soir is that for me, I feel it is just the perfect balance of long-lasting fixation, and I can smell it on myself, which I love, and I can constantly smell it on myself. It's not something that disappears, but I also don't necessarily feel that I'll be potentially offending anyone with my fragrance when I walk into a room. It just leaves that beautiful scent trail that's just perfect. So yeah, I love this fragrance. I think it's fantastic. As I said, the dupe version is a more diffusive version and less dense version, but also quite enjoyable to wear too. Okay, final fragrance, guys. And it is Shaghaf Oud Tonka by Swiss Arabian. Now, this fragrance is what I would classify a vanilla-y, woody gourmand. It's got notes of almond and I think it's got cherry in there. I smell cherry. No. It's got notes of almond, cherry, oud, woods. I definitely get a woody, cherry-like almondy tonka vanilla. There is amber woods in the base also, so this is going to have that ambery feel. But let's get a spritz of this on the scent strip. This is very nice. Now, when I first got this fragrance, my immediate first impression when I sprayed this, if I'm being completely honest, was I got this blast of benzaldehyde, which is a cherry-like molecule, quite synthetic, sharp cherry-like molecule that is instantly detectable. It's very strong, and it's normally used in quite trace amounts in perfumery, but you know, it is obviously used in any scent that has a heavy cherry note to it. But for me, before I could smell anything else, I was smelling benzaldehyde, and it took me a little while to actually appreciate the beauty of this fragrance. You know, it could have just been my nasal palette with what I was working with in creative mode during that time, and I was working with benzaldehyde as well. But for me, it just was like, whoa. But honestly, another thing, when you give fragrances time, when you give a fragrance time, you actually start to appreciate the beauty of it. But I did also, even though I did feel that immediate reaction to the cherry note, to the benzaldehyde, I did smell something beautifully elegant within this fragrance. There was like a woodiness, just a kind of, I pick up a musky kind of tonkery, woody, amber undertone, which I love. It's very sophisticated. Again, these are all very sophisticated scents. I actually wore this to a wedding when I first got it, and it was definitely, I mean, it was in the summer also, and I knew it was a little bit daring because this for me is definitely much more of a autumn scent, but it's very sophisticated. It's again luxurious. The notes of this juice are top notes almond, middle notes cinnamon bark, Tunisian orange flower, Turkish rose, tonka, base notes tonka, vanilla, amberwood. See, I get the cherry, and cherry's not even listed as a note. But I get the benzaldehyde, let's just say, which is obviously contributing to the cherry almond-like facets. But beautiful fragrance. It is classified as a gourmand amber. For me, it's given more of a kind of vanilla-y amber woods gourmand. But again, very sophisticated, very elegant, quite spicy. And you notice I always do spray on skin as well as a scent strip, because as I always say, you can't really get a feel for the fragrance without getting it on your skin. Yeah, this is lush. Very almondy, very woodsy, vanilla-y, sweet, smooth, velvety, gorgeous scent. The other thing I'd advise, like with perfumery and buying new scents, you know, when we do like first impressions, first sniff, it's not always a reliable way to decide whether you like a fragrance or not, because a lot of the times I come back to fragrances that I've had sitting there for a while and I have an impression on them upon first sniff that changes throughout the seasons, changes depending on what kind of a mood I'm in, what kind of a vibe I'm seeking, what kind of olfactory notes I'm craving that day. So, you know, sometimes sit with a fragrance. Don't be so quick to decide that you maybe don't like a fragrance, or, you know, just sometimes, you know, there have been fragrances I've had that, there's a note in there that is just not, I just don't like it. It's nauseating. It gives me a headache, or I just don't like how it smells on me. And, you know, when I have a very aggressive dislike towards a fragrance, I know that that's a true reaction more often than not. But just give it a chance, because a lot of times things change. And you can learn to appreciate things as your nose kind of elevates. Maybe the more things you experience and smell, you can experience an elevation of your nasal palette and be able to like appreciate things that maybe you weren't so sure about in the beginning. So that's my roundup for my autumn vibes, my autumn fragrances that I think are just amazing for transitional season to carry us into the winter. I look forward to seeing you guys in a brand new video. Stay tuned for what Sense'N has coming next, because believe you me, you don't want to miss it. It's super exciting. I'm super excited about it. And let's just say, yeah, we're definitely in the zone of scent of the season and giving you what I think will be beautiful for this autumn into winter season and last phase of the year. So I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share if you care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
I can never be the mistress, but one of his many other bitches.